In the winter of 1943, across Europe, Britain, and parts of North America, millions of families were facing the same problem. Food shipments were disrupted, fuel was rationed, fertilizer was scarce, greenhouses were luxury items few could afford. And yet, somehow, people were still harvesting fresh greens in January. Not from heated buildings, not from expensive glass houses, from cold frames built out of scrap wood, broken windows, and battlefield ingenuity. These were not hobby gardens, these were survival systems. And what makes them remarkable is that many of these methods still outperform modern backyard setups today. They work without electricity, without plastic tunnels, and without expensive gear. They rely on physics, biology, and careful timing. Techniques developed under wartime pressure that most gardening books quietly forgot. Today, I'm going to walk you through 13 of those forgotten methods and show you how you can still use them right now. Why cold frames became a wartime survival weapon. During World War II, governments encouraged victory gardens not as a hobby, but as a national security strategy. Every cabbage grown at home meant one less shipment crossing dangerous waters. Every spinach bed reduced pressure on ration systems. Cold frames became critical because they extended growing seasons by 3 to 4 months. In many regions, they were the difference between fresh vegetables and, well, vitamin deficiency. Farmers and families refined these structures through trial, failure, and honestly, a bit of desperation. Over time, a quiet body of practical knowledge emerged. One of the first techniques was precise winter-sun alignment. Wartime manuals advised placing cold frames facing true south, not magnetic south, and angling the back wall higher than the front. This created a natural solar collector. Even weak January sunlight was trapped and reflected downward onto plants. You know, you can still apply this today by placing your frame where it receives full winter sun from mid-morning to late afternoon, and by building the rear wall at least 6 inches higher than the front. Glass was, well, pretty scarce during the war, so gardeners salvaged broken windows and layered them. 2 thin panes separated by air created insulation, similar to what we now call modern double glazing. This trapped heat overnight and reduced frost damage. These days you can replicate this using 2 layers of old windows, clear acrylic sheets, or even rigid plastic panels spaced just a little apart. One of the most powerful forgotten techniques was, well, hotbed compost heating. Fresh horse manure mixed with straw was packed beneath the soil bed. As it decomposed, it generated steady heat for weeks. This biological heating system could actually raise soil temperatures by 15 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit. To use this today, you dig down about 2 feet, fill the bottom with fresh compostable material, pack it tightly, add soil on top, and plant. It is slow, reliable, and, completely off-grid. Wartime growers learned that, deeper soil stayed warmer. They layered soil in 3 zones. The bottom held organic matter. The middle held heavy loam. The top held fine planting soil. This created thermal mass that well resisted freezing. Modern raised beds often ignore this principle. Rebuilding it dramatically improves winter performance. Many cold frames were built with whitewashed or tin-lined back walls. These surfaces bounce sunlight onto plants during those short winter days. You know, you can replicate this using painted boards, aluminum flashing, or even reflective insulation panels behind your frame. Veteran gardeners consistently emphasized night protection. Straw mats, burlap sacks, wool blankets, and even newspaper layers were placed over frames at dusk. This reduced overnight heat loss by up to 60%. If you add removable covers today, you will outperform most modern setups. One mistake many modern gardeners make is sealing frames too tightly. Wartime manuals stressed daily ventilation whenever temperatures rose above freezing. This prevented fungal growth and rot. A simple prop stick to lift the lid an inch on sunny days was standard practice. Not all greens were equal. Spinach, matcha, kale, claytonia and winter lettuce were preferred because they could freeze and thaw repeatedly. Planting the right varieties remains essential today. Instead of planting everything at once, growers sowed in 3 waves from August to October. This meant young plants, mature plants, and reserve seedlings were always present. If one group failed, another survived. Snow was not removed unless it threatened collapse. A thick snow layer acted as natural insulation, keeping internal temperatures stable. Modern gardeners often shovel it away, losing free protection. Rocks and bricks placed inside frames absorbed daytime heat and released it at night. This passive thermal storage is still highly effective. You know, adding just a few dark stones inside your frame can raise nighttime temperatures by several degrees. Many World War II frames were partially buried. Being sunk 1 to 2 feet into the ground dramatically reduced heat loss. If you're building new, consider semi-buried designs. The final secret was discipline. Daily inspection, moisture control, lid adjustment, cover management. These were not casual gardens, they were managed systems. A modern gardener who adopts this mindset will succeed where others fail. After the Second World War, cheap fuel, plastic greenhouses and chemical fertilizers replaced labor-intensive methods. Convenience won. Efficiency replaced resilience. These techniques were never disproven. They were abandoned. Start small. Build one south-facing frame. Add layered soil. Use compost heating. Install night covers. Monitor daily. Within one winter, you'll understand why these systems kept families fed through blackouts, rationing and supply collapse. Food systems remain fragile. Energy costs rise. Supply chains fail. Skills like this are, well, insurance. Not fear-based insurance, practical insurance. If you can grow greens in January, you are no longer dependent. These 13 techniques were forged in hardship, refined under pressure, and proven by survival. They are not nostalgia. They are working systems. If you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe for more forgotten history and practical survival knowledge. Share this video with anyone who still believes real skills matter. And let me know in the comments which technique you plan to try first. Because the best time to relearn forgotten wisdom is before you need it.